Hey guys, it's been a while since I've made a video, but today I want to talk about going to college for music production and why I think it'd be a waste of your time and money. Before we get to that, make sure you look in the description below and grab my free mix training and other awesome downloads in there. I've got a mix and mastering checklist as well as a mixing visual diagram that can be really helpful when you're mixing. And also it'll add you to my email list, and I'm working on something really awesome right now. It's called Ignis Academy. It's basically a course/community where you'll learn everything you need to know about mixing and mastering, and then eventually I'm going to make it a full production course. But click that link, get the free stuff, and join my email list, and then once that is released, I will let you know. Okay. So for today's video, I want to talk about why you should not go to college for EDM production. So whether you are 17 and you're going to college next year, or maybe you're a little bit older and you're considering going back to school. Well, first of all, what I want to say, and this is just good advice for anyone for going to college for anything, which is you should pick a degree that is guaranteed to get you a job, or at least somewhat guaranteed to land you a job when you graduate college, okay? So things like accounting, becoming a lawyer, doctor, engineer, especially something like engineering or computer engineering will land you like a higher paying job, which is great. And so that's my advice right away. And so what I want to do is I'm going to lay out two paths for you, okay? And so before I lay out the paths, so the thing about producing music, let's say you want to be an EDM producer or a beat maker and you want to make a living just by producing music. Well, getting a piece of paper from a college, a degree that says you got so-and-so music production degree doesn't mean that doesn't make you a good producer, and that's not going to land you a job. There's other types of degrees that will land you jobs in music, like teaching. Let's say you want to be a high school choir teacher or a band teacher. If that's something you want to do, if you want to teach music, then by all means, go to college and major in it, okay? But that's the reason I'm kind of talking about this today, is that if you're wanting to make a living producing music, a piece of paper saying you got a degree in music production, it just doesn't mean anything, okay? Right now, what I want to do is I want to lay out two paths for you. The first path is the one that sucks. So you go to college, you go to a 4-year degree, and it's music, let's just say it's music production, or even a generic music degree. And we could even loop in there generic degrees that don't mean anything, like sociology or psychology degree with just undergrad, okay? So you go to four-year college, you have fun, great, that's cool. You take out loans. Most of you, unfortunately, will have to take out loans. And let's say you graduate in 4 years, but now you're $40,000 in debt. And you have a degree in music production, and this degree doesn't land you any type of job that makes any money at all. Or a sociology degree, and now you've got a degree, but now you just you're forced to get a job and live with your parents, and you're forced to get a job as a customer service person making $20 an hour. And you're tons of money in debt, and you're basically at square one, except you have 4 years of drinking and partying and getting a pointless degree under your belt. That's path one. Path two is, and you probably didn't even learn that much about music production to begin with, okay? Path two, go to college, major in something like, let's say computer engineering, or, like something where you're like programming, okay? Let's just like say the pinnacle of something that can land you like a job that pays really well, like engineering. So you go to college, you graduate, now you have a degree, and I'm not, I don't know a lot about engineering in particular, but now you graduate and you have a degree that's can actually land you a job. And maybe you don't start out making $100,000 a year or whatever, but maybe you start somewhere and you're making $60,000 or $80,000 a year. And now you can actually afford to live on your own. You can actually afford to make debt payments and pay off your debt. I highly recommend never getting credit cards, by the way. You can live on your own, get an apartment somewhere. If you're making $80,000 a year, that's so much. I mean, that's really good money, and you can definitely find a place to live where the cost of living is low enough where you can live on your own. You go to work, and throughout that time at college, you can study music production on your own, take an online course, take a mixing course like my course, or there's other courses out there. There's the EDM Tips Guy, there's Cosmic Academy. Throughout that time, on the side, you study music production, you work on your degree, you work really hard, you graduate, you get a really good job, and you work 9 to 5. if you're not married, if you don't have kids, especially actually if you're married but you don't have kids, you have all the time in the world to get good at this. So now you're 23 and you make good money and you can literally work and come home and devote all of your free time to music production, growing your social medias, getting really good at this, like actually building, and you have a net, like you have the fact that you have a good job and you can grow your career in another thing where you'll actually make money for the rest of your life. Or let's say you get good at sales. You don't even have to go to college. Get good at sales and get a good sales job. Do that during the day, make tons of money, live on your own, and then with your free time, work on music production. Or if college isn't your thing, trade school, go become a plumber. I know it sounds like, oh, plumber, whatever, like you're doing this grimy work or whatever. You know, there's plumbers that make $150,000 a year or more. Okay. So path one, like I said, you get a pointless degree, you're tons of money in debt. You can't even afford the cool music production stuff that you want to get, and you're just barely scraping by. Path two, you find a degree that actually leads to a job. If you go into debt, you're able to pay it off in a reasonable amount of time, and then you get a job. You want to live with your parents for a little while, whatever, but at least you're able to move out. You make a lot of money, and now you can afford cool stuff like speakers and acoustic treatment and plugins and all this stuff. And you have that comfort of that cushion of just making good money and working and then being able to do anything you want in your free time. Okay. So that's my biggest advice for anyone considering going back to college. If you're like 17, 18, you're about to go to school, do not waste your time on a degree that's pointless, or a degree like music production or sound engineering, something that just doesn't lead you to actual jobs. If there's a guarantee that'll lead you to a job, then go for it. But a lot of that stuff, I guess what I'm trying to say is do your due diligence, research what you're doing. Don't just go in blind. Basically do what I did, which is go in and then party for 4 years and come out with a sociology degree and then just be scrambling. Okay. So just want to make this video. And once again, look in the description below for awesome stuff, free stuff, and join my email list. And I'll let you know when Ignis Academy is coming out. All right. I'll see you guys again next video.